Round of 16 has just ended, Nick. Who do you think is going to win the whole entire tournament for the Champions League?
Bayern Munich.
Let's do it. What a week it was for sports. This is the second time you guys are seeing us this week, I'm pretty sure. Little technical difficulties from the last episode that we recorded a couple days ago, but it's all good because in this episode, we're going to talk March Madness as the first official day of the March Madness. If you're not counting first four, the actual first round started today to this recording. This is coming out Friday morning, so actually yesterday. So we have lots to talk about there, but Champions League round of 16 has just wrapped up. And Nick, what a week it was, or what a Monday, Tuesday it was or Tuesday, Wednesday for Champions League.
Yeah.
But first, we're going to start off with Sporting CP's comeback against Bodo Glimt. Sporting winning 5-0. Going into this second leg, they were down 3-0. What a performance that they put on. No quit. Brought it to extra. I was about to say extra innings there, but they brought it to extra time. And they finally finished off the comeback. And a rainy night. It was tremendous to watch, tremendous to pay attention to. And I think that was the one big shocker to me, I think, this week in the soccer world. But Nick, what do you think about that match?
I can't believe how relentless Sporting was in their attack. Like it was just nonstop
Right
for
from the jump, eh? Right
90
from the jump.
minutes. I like Sporting. Good for them. This is the first time that they've ever gone to the quarterfinals in the Champions League iteration as it is. Obviously, prior it used to be the European Cup, and they actually made it quite far before they changed it to the Champions League. They changed the format, but yeah, I like the way Sporting performed. They're also the 15 in Champions League history to reverse a 3-0 deficit from the first leg and then win the tie. So
Wait, did you say they were the first?
fifth.
Oh, fifth. Who is the most recent? Do you have that?
I don't have the most recent, but I have a good example of one, the most famous example, arguably.
Which one was that?
Okay, it came in 2004. A Spanish team called Deportivo La Coruña came back and defeated Prime AC Milan 2004.
Oh my God!
So we're talking
Who was on that team? Who was on that?
Maldini, Paolo
Yeah.
Maldini, Nesta, Shevchenko, Pirlo. I mean, you just go on and on
No, about that
team.
from the other team that came back.
Oh, I don't know.
No, I swear there was someone famous on that team.
On
I think that's the. What's up?
on the team that came back in 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be right. For some reason,
But I think that was the game that made someone famous. Because I know that that game's famous because on who they came back against. But I think someone else became like a household name for their comeback. It might have even been the manager.
Let's see who was on.
Damn, it's been a minute since I thought about that.
Deportivo.
I want to say it was a forward, a center, or maybe a center forward. Could be mistaken, but I swear
No one like particularly is jumping out to me in terms of name right now. So, I mean, the one name I have is like Lionel Scaloni, but he managed.
I think that's what it was. Yeah, I think that was the manager. I think it was the manager I was more thinking of, but he was already famous by then.
Yeah, I mean, they had a Brazilian on the team. I see Mauro Silva. There's a couple of other players here that had good careers in Spain. But yeah, going back to this game, Sporting, great performance from them. Shame for Bodo Glimt fans, but I would say I don't if there's Bodo Glimt fans watching this show,
I'd be
Number
surprised.
one, we're doing something right. Number two, like, where's the rest of you guys? No, I'm joking. There's just like it's just look, like Bodo Glimt, like they became the first Norwegian side ever to reach this late of a stage in the Champions League, and who they defeated along the way is so special. I mean, we're talking Man City and Atletico Madrid in the league phase, and then they go to the knockouts and they take out last year's finalists Inter Milan with a score of I think 5-2
Yeah,
aggregate.
they had a fantastic run,
They had a
and
fantastic run, and
but they're also now going to be remembered for this loss.
probably yeah. But I'm gonna
Whenever
be
you're
honest,
up
going
three
into this.
nothing on Ag, you gotta close it out.
Well,
But
that's where
Sporting is a great team though.
Sporting is a great team. They got really good talent. Trincao, he's a fantastic player. Gonzalo Inacio, like they have really good homegrown talent. But I would say, obviously going into the next round, Sporting is, by far the least, how do we say, star-studded out of the clubs.
Yeah, they're not really a star-studded lineup, and they're going to be playing, or they're be facing off against Arsenal in the next round in the court. Yeah, so yeah, they're going to be playing against Arsenal, who's very star-studded, and they're most likely going to win the Premier League this year. And there's really high hopes that they go deep in this competition also. So the challenge for Sporting is going to be, can they go up against Arsenal, even though they're not really a star-studded team? And I honestly think, other than that's going to be a great. I think the next two legs for this in the quarterfinals for Sporting CP and Arsenal. And sorry if I feel distracted too. I got turned off my TV. I don't think I can. I don't think I can watch both of these things at the same time. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm watching March Madness at the same time. I had to turn off my TV, but there's one TV that I'm still on. It's BYU's game. But for the first leg or the first two legs or the next two legs. Sorry, I can't even speak right now. Let me turn off the other TV. I can't do this. I cannot do this. We're gonna. Damn, dude. Like, I don't know. BYU is losing, and it's really driving me nuts right now. But for the next two legs, so Sporting against Arsenal, their next two legs, I think that's gonna be a fantastic match to watch. Overall, I know Sporting's not star-studded, but at the same time, there's could be talk about Arsenal that they're not really that scary in the European scene right now.
Well, I mean,
I think that's good. That's me being a little over dramatic, but
no, I agree.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, yes, they're gonna win the Premier League. Cool, congrats. Like, that's awesome for them. Congratulations. I don't see them winning Champions League.
To be honest, neither do I. I think they're one of the two best teams in the world, them or Bayern Munich. But I think if push comes to shove, and then those two teams were to match up in the Champions League final, I don't know if they can logistically because of the bracket. But let's say if they were to be able to, I would take Bayern Munich 100%, just because I trust.
I don't even think Arsenal is going to get that far. I think they're. I don't. I see them getting out of quarterfinals because Sporting's not strong enough. But I don't even see them because they will face off against. I think they will face off against Bayern and the semis. But if they somehow make it out to the finals, not even going to win it. But I would say their cutoff is. I wouldn't even be shocked if Sporting beats Arsenal in the quarters. That's what I'm getting at. Like, I'm not a big fan of Arsenal.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really care for Arsenal. I think if Arsenal were to get eliminated by Sporting, my God, would that be a hell of a controversy? Like, we're talking like almost as big as if they were to absolutely choke away the Premier League, which they're not going to.
Yeah, I think that's solidified that they're going to be Premier League champions.
I think so too. But I think in Europe, in terms of like the wider Champions League scope, they lack a true striker because Gyökeres is not very consistent. I think they have a penchant for playing out wide, and when that gets stopped, in other words, like Bukayo Saka, when they can't play out wide towards their wingers, then they kind of start to struggle a little bit. I love Eberechi Eze scored a banger against Bayern Leverkusen, but yeah, I mean,
the reason why I'm saying this is I don't think they've looked. Leverkusen. What's up?
They don't look convincing.
Yeah, they don't look convincing. Like the two legs that they just had against Leverkusen did not look convincing. And if they want me to be convinced on just what they're doing in England, that's just not going to set. Look at Liverpool, for instance. They are terrible in the England landscape as of right now, and they put an absolute performance on Wednesday. So I think it's what you matter here. If it's you got to have convincing wins, and I don't think Arsenal has convinced me yet. Maybe I'm a little salty that they're winning the Premier League, but even in the Premier League, they haven't looked as convincing. They're just lucky that half the teams are in a slump this year.
Well, the reason why a lot of people are getting on the hype train is because I believe they went undefeated in the league phase of the Champions League,
Yeah.
and they also beat Bayern Munich as well a couple months ago before the knockout started. So that was
Well, yeah, they won a perfect 8-0, but look what you do now against Leverkusen.
Leverkusen, like on paper, easily was the worst team going into the round of 16. Like Bodo Glimt, Sporting, these teams were all more fluid on paper, talented, and you could say it's just once Xabi Alonso left Leverkusen, pretty well all the best parts of that team except Grimaldo left. Like Frimpong, he's gone. Liverpool, Verts,
Yeah,
Liverpool
Frimpong. I'm not really a big fan of him either, even though he's on Liverpool.
Well, he can't he's just like he's
Yes, he lacks he lacks a style of true England soccer. I was about to say football. I'm not like because I football here. Even though he lacks it's something a skill set, I like to say.
Well, to me, he's kind of like Trent. Trent's really good, like offensively, but one-on-one defending, he gets cooked sometimes.
Yeah, well, like Trent Alexander-Arnold used to not be like that. But
Like
the last 2 years he's really turned into that.
His last year at Liverpool, yeah, and then,
Yeah, but he just wanted out. He did not. I think he was just done with it. When you see this in everyone's face, when they're just done with playing in the same league over and over and over, they don't. And the fans have it like hinting at you're leaving. Like fans are hinting that you're gonna be gone in the off season. They're gonna try to turn on you, and that's exactly what Liverpool fans did to Trent. So every little mistake that Trent did, you didn't hear about for years. Now you for sure heard about last season. And like every defender loses, but Frimpong's a little different. He sometimes just lacks ability. But we're not here to hate on him. We're here to hate on Arsenal. I just don't think Arsenal came in first place in the league phase. I like that. Who else also came first place in the league phase last year? Liverpool. What happened to Liverpool? They got sent packing in the first round of PSG, and now we're about to see a PSG-Liverpool rematch in the next round, but we're going to talk about Liverpool in a second. Arsenal, though, I just don't know what... Yeah, they won 3-1 total on aggregate against Leverkusen, but you cannot tell me those two legs, they looked convincing.
First leg, they looked horrendous. They couldn't really buy too much, they couldn't buy a goal into the later stages to save their life. Second leg, a little bit better, a little more convincing. But like the Eze goal was amazing. Like that's why I'm pretty well saying that. Also, they put up a couple more goals, but like even in the first round, I just think they play such a weird brand of football that it's number one, it sucks to watch, and number two, it doesn't really produce that many goals. It's we're a far ways away from those days when Barcelona was running the world with their tiki-taka style, and it was bing, bang, 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 and then Messi
the MSN.
Yeah, this is like the byproduct of Pep coming to the Premier League, and then his brand of soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, evolved into this possession-based style where now that's how teams build their rosters around. They want them to win based on possession. Mm-hmm. A lot of the teams in the Premier League do. So Arsenal, it's just a lot of dinking around the midfield, and they don't have a top-class striker, which changes a lot of things too. Because if they had a top-class striker, somebody who they knew was reliable enough where they could send the ball over the top to him and he would make the most out of his chance, then it would probably make this brand of soccer a little bit more pleasing, number one, and acceptable to the wider public. But Gyökeres just hasn't been that guy. Like, since coming from Sporting, he hasn't been that guy. So Yeah, that's what I think. They're not convincing to me. Number one, I think they will beat Sporting, depending on who they get in the round after that. I
I think
don't see.
it's Bayern Munich they meet up after.
Is it Bayern Munich? Is that what
It
it'll be?
might be Bayern Munich, because I want to say
Because Bayern
it's
Munich plays Madrid, which is
yeah,
probably
but I don't think it's gonna be Liverpool or PSG. Let me see this. Um,
Bayern Munich Real Madrid tie is money.
yeah, like Real Madrid, Bayern Munich should be great, great. Like what? I don't know what I don't have the bracket in front of me, so I don't know what they're actually lined up. But I think it would be Arsenal and Bayern Munich, but it might not because they actually finished second. So it's either probably going to be. I want to say
I'll pull it
it could
up.
be Madrid.
And Madrid should have Mbappe back because he
Yeah.
came on in the later minutes of the.
Are you googling the bracket?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how the bracket would look because
Let's see, quarterfinals.
Arsenal was the one seed. The lowest seed of left is I want to say it's either Madrid or
Arsenal would
PSG.
play the winner of Barcelona and Atletico.
Wow, what did Atletico finish? Oh, Atletico finished 14th in the table. Totally forgot about that. That's actually a great draw too. But let's go to Barcelona versus Newcastle. What the heck was that second leg? That game started so Barcelona tore this game open with a late penalty. I think it was right when that Lamal penalty and added time broke this game apart. And I think I think everything broke down for Newcastle because then you even saw in the second half, it was all Barcelona. Barcelona ended up winning this game 7-2. And leg two, 7-2. It was 3-2. Yeah, it was 3-2 going into halftime. There was 3 goals alone scored in like 20 minutes, in the first 20 minutes. It was a beautiful back and forth. And then if everybody's box score watching, it'd just be like, oh, well, Barcelona absolutely killed them. Yeah, oh yeah, well that is true. The second half was all Barcelona, but the first half I was very happy at how Newcastle played in the first half. Well, for the first 30 minutes, I want to say, because there was actually ups and downs. So they played a solid 30 minutes. For like maybe 30 and beyond, it looked terrible for Newcastle, and Newcastle ended up getting knocked out, eliminated on aggregate 8-3. Like that second half, what happened? That was crazy, right? Like that was a complete collapse.
Yeah, that was nuts. To me, that was just a mixture of, well, I think number one, going back to Barcelona at the Camp Nou was going to change a lot of things for
Yeah.
Newcastle. It's one of the more intimidating places to play in Europe. It's nearly 90,000 capacity that they can seat in there. I actually saw it when I was in Spain from the highway. It's nuts, man.
That's legit. It's real.
It's nuts. I took a tour of the Real Madrid stadium when I was in Spain because that's just that's how I wanted to spend my trip.
You have to, man.
That stadium is like beyond
It's
belief.
unbelievable. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'll send you a video of it. You can see. But yeah, in this game I think it was just a mixture of like intimidation, crowd intimidation, poor performance from Newcastle's defense in the second half in particular, because you're right. Once Yamal got the penalty and he converted it, well, like it just seemed like Newcastle's spirit broke.
Right.
They were fighting for a bit. They got the brace from Alonga. He played well. But once the second half came on, like Lewandowski, 2 goals. Rafinha scores his
Like
second.
right away too. He got his Lewandowski got his brace in like within like 6 minutes or less.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Like
I see right now.
yeah.
It's nuts. It's nuts. And Rafinha, man of the match, unbelievable performance.
Both ways. Yeah, both ways.
He's actually the one that draws the penalty, which Yamal converts right before halftime. And so he's hitting his run of form that he hit last year. I think he had like 34 total goals in all competitions last year. Like, and somehow this guy finishes 5th in the Ballon d'Or. And I'm not taking
Ballon d'Or is that's a different conversation to have. But yeah, it's a popularity contest. I think that's lost since Ronaldo and Messi were going head and head year in and year out with it.
Yeah.
And ever since they're not anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's just I don't even know what qualifies. It's like that MVP award. What qualifies you for the MVP? Do you have to have
Quarterback, that's it.
like the Josh Allen MVP with or Lamar Jackson's a couple years ago? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of debate
I don't like
on
it.
it. Is it a goal scoring award for the Ballon d'Or, or is it the playmaking award, or how many goals you set up? It makes no sense. And I would like, you know what I like? I got a nice what's those things called? A nice highlight of what you have to do to be named the winner of Ballon d'Or. It's obviously the
Yeah.
MVP of Europe, right? It's obviously the MVP, but
Yeah, it's
like Mo
usually
Salah had like 45 goals one year. Holland had
Lewandowski had one.
yeah, Lewandowski should have had one.
Yeah.
Like, there's been so many missed opportunities. That trophy, I look at it now, that could just be me. People in Europe obviously still love it, still adore it.
Yeah.
But as a Canadian and as a North American, I look at that award and dude, I don't care one bit about it anymore.
Well,
I think it's lost its love.
I listen to a couple soccer podcasts and they don't seem to like it as well. Like they don't really treat it as the benchmark for naming the best player in the world. So
Yeah.
you like to me, like the best players in the world right now are like not necessarily the players that are up for this award currently or in discussion for it. One of them is for sure Harry Kane. I think Harry Kane, Kylian Mbappe, and this one might ruffle some feathers, but Michael Olise. I think they're the three best players in the world right now in terms of the most in. Oh, and Lamine Yamal. There you go. That's the
What about
fourth.
Vinicius Jr.? What's your thoughts on him?
Vinicius Jr. has been honestly, he's been my favorite player for the last like 5 years. Or basically, like since I started getting really heavy into soccer, I adopted Vinicius Jr. as my favorite player, even above Kylian Mbappe. I just feel like adding Mbappe into the squad has kind of taken away a
Really,
lot.
yeah, really shadowed him, right?
Well, because yeah, exactly. And Mbappe, like you saw his struggles, but like coming into into La Liga, he's obviously attained a run of form now. But the opposite has kind of happened for Vinicius, where like he had the brace against City. He's obviously one of the most dominant players, but a couple of years ago, when he was actually like probably the Ballon d'Or, the rightful Ballon d'Or winner instead of Rodri, he was on the left wing. But how many times would you watch him and he would cut into the middle and then he would act as a number 10? Even when Bellingham was still finding his feet there, who essentially is their number 10, he Vinicius was running the show. So I think now I don't think you can consider him among those players because number one, those players are in form better than he is right now. Like they're just playing better than he is, more consistent.
That's
Like
fair.
Harry is scoring like unbelievable amount of goals.
Yeah.
Michael Olise is I think any club in Europe, like he can name his price and anyone would take it.
The bag for him.
Yeah. And then Mbappe. Mbappe's been Mbappe. He's scored 40 plus goals in all competitions and he's been injured. He's missed basically a month and he's still, I believe he's the La Liga goal scoring leader. But yeah, that's just that. This is a debate for another show because like
Yeah, but
do
let's continue. Let's get on
yeah.
back on path with the Newcastle and Barcelona. Like, I don't care where you play, you're professional athletes. If you're home on the road, you don't ever have a second half like that.
Yeah, but I think they just got to the point where they couldn't stop it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like Barcelona was that dominant.
They were so
But
good.
if you're a professional athlete and a professional soccer player and you have an embarrassing effort like that,
Hmm.
like when you're a manager, you literally can't tell them anything.
But
You
Barcelona,
have some choice words that you would love to say, but
yeah.
professionalized, you can't say it.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Newcastle's manager has some choice words for them in the locker room, Eddie Howe, but
Yeah, because hey, that's embarrassing. And I
yeah,
don't care that they were on the road. I don't care where they played. They played this game their whole entire lives. You should never come out that flat. I get the penalty really broke them, but let's be real here. Barcelona after they scored that pen, we all knew it that nothing was gonna stop Barcelona after that. But with Newcastle on their way, I just think because they even looked sluggish right after that penalty. Right when the penalty got announced, it was like you could see everyone's just attitude just be like, "Oh, we lost."
yeah, the momentum changed, and then Barcelona is going to have to tighten up if they're going to want to win this next round because, like, they play a really good brand of offensive football with that attacking front of Yamal, Rafinha, and Lewandowski, and they have like Rashford coming off the bench. That's nuts. Like, it's insane. So, but their defense, like their coach, he doesn't really make it. He doesn't make it a point to play defense. He plays a high line, and if you put a ball over the top of the defense, because they're like halfway up the field as is, and then you fast enough wingers who could run onto it, they're toast. Like they're not a good defensive team whatsoever. And Atletico, they don't possess like the talent that Barcelona does on offense, but
Atletico almost just choked it. They almost choked.
They did almost, which we're gonna
Well,
get.
like not technically almost choke, but Tottenham Loki. Tottenham played good.
Spurs played good. Like, actually, by far their best game of the year. Do you want to talk about Spurs?
Yeah, we can talk about the Spurs. I think everyone gets it. Barcelona dominated Newcastle. They're going to go on and play Atletico in the next round. Atletico beats Tottenham Hotspurs 7-5 in aggregate, but Spurs looked good. I wouldn't say great because you can never say. I don't think you could say the Spurs ever looked great this year, but they like you said, that was their for sure best game of the year.
Yeah, they're great. Like, great. Xavi Simons, he's looked the best since coming to North London last summer. Like, I think he scored, I think I saw the stat, like 3 goals in 36 competitions.
Yeah.
Struggled so much, but scores twice. Matisse Tell was just disgusting. Absolutely managing like the midfield and the attack. And then Kolo Muani putting in the goals. But Matisse Tell, to me, was the one who played really well. He was setting everything up, and then he embraced the role of the facilitator so much. And, Spurs, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to see Spurs get relegated. I don't.
I honestly, I do. I do want to see them get relegated. It's going to, well, actually, the only reason why I say this, it's a little petty, is I just want to see the other teams go into that massive stadium.
Oh, you just want to see the reactions of the players?
No, yeah. Oh my God, we usually play in 2,000 box. We play in a 2,000 seat box. Now you're in this castle. But no. Truthfully, I don't want to see Tottenham get relegated. There's a little thing of me is I don't think they're gonna get relegated. Especially, I think they're starting to generate some momentum, especially tying Liverpool as we got. Yikes for Liverpool's part, but for Tottenham, every point matters. Every point counts now.
Yeah.
But I gotta say this game though they look tremendous. But I really want to spend a lot of time on March Madness. But I want to talk about one more game. Liverpool's obviously that was probably their best game I've seen them play in almost the last 2 months, maybe even longer. Beating Galatasaray 4-0, 4-1 on aggregate. But like I knew Liverpool was gonna. I had a great feeling Liverpool, even though the season's been bad, but I had a great feeling that Liverpool was gonna win this game. They're at home. There was just no feeling in me that they were gonna lose this game, and if they did, it was gonna be in some dramatic fashion. But instead, they won. But I don't know how to pronounce his name. The goalkeeper for Galatasaray. What a performance! I know, like 4-0. No. He had played his heart out, and I think his defense really let him down at times. A double save, and then he saved Mo Salah's penalty. He was making ginormous saves on Sunderland, but it really wasn't enough. Florian Wirtz, best game as a Liverpool player, his best game also. But then, like once the first goal went in for Liverpool, the floodgates kind of just opened up, and the rest, it was 4-0. Everything seemed easy for them on the way. But I gotta say, I don't know if you Googled it. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't even want to try to pronounce it because I think I'm gonna butcher it.
I got it.
Do you know how to say it?
I don't know. I'll try if you want.
All right, let's try it.
Oh man. Okay.
It's hard, bro? It's actually hard to pronounce his name.
Okay, so like Ugurkin Sakir.
See, that's literally what I thought it was. That could have been. I think it's because we don't have an English accent, so it doesn't sound right when the commentators say it.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how. Like, what's that accent on the C in the last name? It's like
I don't know what that. I thought.
Pardon me?
Turkey.
He's Turkish. He's
Yeah.
Turkish. But he's like, I don't know how you pronounce that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know
Yeah,
how you.
that's Turkish. That's for sure. That's a Turkish spelling of Kakiri. Kakiri.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I think people gotta really understand who we're talking about here. The goalkeeper for Galatasaray, he played great. He made ginormous saves on Liverpool throughout the first half. Even had saving Mohamed Salah's penalty and making earlier in the second half or later in the second half. A double save that was ginormous, and then he makes one beautiful save. Just the rebound just doesn't go his way, and then Liverpool scores off of the rebound. But I want to give big props to him, even though we can't say your name. I can't even pronounce your team's name correctly sometimes. Fantastic performance over there. Liverpool, that might have been their best game that they've played in. It could even be up for debate. Like it literally could be their best game they played all season. How the season's been going, but for sure their best game they've played in almost 60 days.
Yeah, props to Slot. I know we got to get to March Madness, but he played split strikers this game.
Yeah.
He had TK on the left and then Salah on the right, and it was just freaking vintage Salah. Like he had a goal and assist. He assisted Ekitike, and then his goal where he cuts in from the right, just worldy. The guy, vintage Salah. So props to Slot. I know a lot of.
But like
people
the crazy,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah. It didn't look. Salah, he had his opportunities, he had his moments in this game. I hate to say it though. I think near the end of the game, probably from the 62nd, maybe not even. I would say the 50th minute and on, he looked great.
Yeah.
But the first 45, he looked so sluggish. I think the slow starts are really starting to really deteriorate me, make me a little upset with Salah because if he could start the game like he plays the second half, because he's always on the ball. It's just these slow starts with him getting in the game. I don't know if it's a form issue or what, or an age issue. I don't even want to say it's an age issue. He's just in his mid-30s, early 30s, if that's fair to say. But no, he does start the game slow, but I like near the end of the game, I would say just probably all second half, he looked like vintage. He looked like vintage himself.
Yeah, I like Verts playing behind those two as well.
Yeah.
Slot was to keep that formation going into PSG because they got to be like, when I say perfect, Liverpool they can't get anything wrong.
I know. And
they're hitting their form now too, and they're so good. They look so good. And I'm not a PSG fan, but it's hard not. Well, half Napoli fan, Kvaratskhelia. I love Kvaradona, the Georgian Maradona. That's my guy. But Dembele looks right. Barkla, Doué, they have so much attacking talent. It's just, that's going to be a tie, ladies and gentlemen.
It's going to be so close. It's going to be so tight for Liverpool because, honestly, you don't know which type of Liverpool team you're going to get. I didn't even know what type of Arne Slot they were going to get. Were they going to get nonchalant Arne Slot or hyped up Arne Slot? They got hyped up Arne Slot, and when you get hyped up Slot, it seems like they play a lot better. But you don't know what type of Liverpool squad you're gonna get. Like, are they gonna come out? Are they gonna come out fast? Are they gonna come out hungry? Or are they gonna come out slow and rugged and just look terrible? Look like they don't even want to be there. And against PSG, I think with how last year ended, and it was supposed to be a perfect year for Liverpool. Finishing first in the league stage. Obviously, they had a tremendous year in the Prem. Even coming up to the first round Champions League last year, then losing in the second leg in the pads. I remember I was freaking out. I was back at school in Hamilton. I had to hop on a Zoom call after the game too, and I just did not want to do that.
It's so bad. The losses in soccer take it out of you, man.
Especially that game. That was such an emotional, just trap. That was just killing. That killed all the vibes. But with them losing and the way that their season lost last year or their season ended last year in the Champions League, and honestly, who knows if they're even going to be playing Champions League ball next year, especially how their England league is going to go. I know they're just in 5th place, but I doubt they're going to play Champions League ball. That top 4 race is tight. And they can't. 5th place to 7th place isn't too far either. So there's no slip ups there. There's no slip ups for the top 4 teams. Well, top 3 teams. I think Arsenal has a little wiggle room and they'll
I
be all
think
right.
they get
But how
well,
their season, how their season ended, I think they're gonna have to come in with a lot of firepower because this is they want vengeance on PSG.
I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think PSG is winning the next round, but I think Liverpool can catch Villa for fourth spot in the Prem. I don't think they catch United because United look really good now.
Bro, I don't even know. At this point, I don't even know because I don't even trust what squad gets out there. Like it's literally watching a roulette. It's
So
so
inconsistent with Sloth.
inconsistent play all year. It's where was the spark last year? But like I get it. So many new bodies in the lineup. Gakpo playing his worst ball of his entire career. Frimpong looks like he plays good one game and plays bad another game. Van Dijk is not even the same old Van Dijk at times. Salah is not the same leader. I think a lot of them emotionally tapped out halfway through the season, and then I think they're trying to buy back in because they just advanced in Champions League. So it's honestly going to be. I'm excited to see what type of Liverpool squad we get from here too, because I think they have a big matchup too. I want to say, I want to
Well, I know
say,
there's cup finals this weekend.
is it Cup Finals?
Yeah, cup finals, like the Carabao Cup finals this weekend. I know
Oh
that.
yeah, no, Liverpool. Yeah, they still have a game though. They play 21st. They play against Brighton. That's at 8:30 in the morning. Not even a primetime game. That sucks. Um, but yeah, like massive games, and then yeah, uh, look at this race for the English, for the championship level. Whew. And
It's
yeah,
kind of,
Arsenal and Man City League Cup final are is Sunday. So
I'll be watching that, but like honestly, bro, about Liverpool, they it sucks too because they bought two strikers and Isak is what they buy Isak for like
a
80
lot of money,
million.
but he's back training, and but it takes I've seen it's like a road. It's like the
I think
history repeats itself year in and year out. It takes a while for these players to get developed into a form. We've seen it with Klopp and his teams back in the past. Like, like minus Virgil and Allison and Mo Salah when they all came in and they all, became beauties and studs and legends and all-stars and club beauties right off the jump.
Yeah.
But with like Isak and Etikette and Wirtz and for just so many bodies and so many new names and new faces and new bodies and players came in this past off season or this past summer that it is tough on I think Slot to get a handle, especially how deep the bench is, and I think he does lose trust in a lot of players early on. And stuff
Yeah.
like that, like you have to lose some sort of trust when you're starting like a 17-year-old a couple times and playing him nonstop, coming off the bench at the same time consistently. And that's like that's the most frustrating part is that I don't think Slot's doing a terrific job, but at the same time though, with all these new faces, it takes a year. So if Liverpool's the exact same Liverpool next season, then there's going to be a lot of awkward conversations to have. I'm one of those guys that are like, yo, out slot, because he
Do you
did
want
such a
Slot
poor
gone?
job. What's up?
I was just gonna ask anyway, like, would at the end of this year, okay, look, can I ask you because I really know we got to move on and I want to
No,
talk
bro,
about
ask me, ask me,
it.
ask me.
Okay, hypothetical, you guys make the top four, so you get Champions League next year. You crash out against PSG, but your performances are still kind of inconsistent to the eye. You're seeing the same things that irritate you, like you're talking.
Like for the rest of the season, everything's the same, but we get a fourth spot. We're out of the Champions League.
When
Nothing
you
else.
make Champions League next year,
Yeah,
you make
yeah.
Champions League next year, is Slot gone? Do you
No,
sack him?
no, I know. I think Slot stays. Like
I agree.
at first I think at first probably halfway through the season I was pretty frustrated, and I think a lot of Liverpool fans were frustrated. And they're facing their frustrations pretty loudly because like who's the easiest person to blame when your team's not performing the best?
Well,
The manager.
yeah,
And you've seen so many teams just move on from managers after like 20 games in short samples. I'm not saying that, Slot has had a big sample size, one full year. But if we're talking about seasons, that's not long enough. And
well, look at
especially,
Madrid.
what's up?
Look at Madrid. Like
Yeah.
they literally didn't even Alonso didn't get a whole year there, and he's a Like, he's a club legend at Liverpool. He's
But
also a club
yeah,
legend at
but I gotta say, like, people like that, Real Madrid and their front office is like, you
they're
need to
different.
win. You need to win every single game. Liverpool, and I think it's with a lot of English clubs. I think it could be just an English thing. They kind of let the training wheels fall off on its own, so you can learn how to ride a bike right away. Because
Yeah.
like, how else you have a manager that you trust, and Klopp appointed Slot. So the Liverpool fandom, the front office trust him. I just think it was just a down year. We've seen down years with Klopp, but it just sucks going from Klopp
Yeah.
to Slot. But Liverpool didn't win all the time with Klopp. They had a couple years where they were just so close, but they also had a couple years where they would finish fourth, finish sixth.
You guys won the freaking Champions League with him.
Yeah, but that was probably what, 4 years in of
But that
Klopp.
was still like okay, and then the time before that, you guys won it in, was it '06? It was
Yeah,
'06 or '05. You guys beat AC Milan in the final in Rome, I think.
yeah, the
And
greatest final of Champions League history.
yeah, the comeback, but I don't know who managed the team. Was that Rafa Benitez? I don't know. I'm
I
looking
think
it up real
I
quick.
forget who was the manager there. I was
Liverpool.
2 years old. Um, but no, like, I think Slot stays on for like, it has to be a 3 year sample, right? He is coming off winning the Premier League last season, but you could also make a case that was all Klopp. It was Klopp's team with a couple of reinforcements.
Yeah.
Um, but overall, like, I think the Slot's done a who was it?
Benitez got it.
Yeah, Beanaz. Okay, yeah. But no, I think Slot's done a tremendous job with Liverpool, the one thing that he's gonna have to make some tough choices on is, do you move on from Allison? Do you move on from Virgil? Do you move on from Mo Salah? Because me as a Liverpool fan is, if he's gonna stay long term, the one thing that'll make me feel comfortable is what kind of tough decision he makes, and who he does to replace that. And also another one is, one thing that pisses me off though from Slot is, stop playing Federico Chiesa. Just stop it. It's honestly making more. It's becoming way more embarrassing for Chiesa and his entire family for him being on the field and looking like a chicken with his head cut off. But stop playing him. But no, overall, I think Liverpool's in a good situation. Even though they won the league last year, it was awesome. But to win Champions League, it's nowhere near in the picture right now in this season. I'd be pumped, but there's just no way. Especially the gauntlet they kind of have to go through. Like that was a treat to have Galatasaray in round one.
Like if they beat, that's the thing too, because if Liverpool beats PSG in the next round, then they have to play the winner of Bayern Munich and Madrid.
Yeah, and that's gonna be even worse.
That's a
Because it's
gauntlet.
like that's gonna be even worse
That's way harder than if you're Arsenal having to play Barcelona or Atletico in the next round. Like
yeah.
it's different. It's just different with Bayern and Real. But yeah, like I agree. I think there's just a sense of growing pains, which is weird to say because you guys did win the league under Slot last year. But
But
I think
I think it's Claude. I'll say Slot had just didn't have much to do with that player wise.
that's what I was just gonna say. Is I agree. Like you said that a couple of weeks ago. That was Klopp's team, and it was Klopp's team. I think now Slot is finding himself well within his first full season as manager, um and you guys like on the unfortunate passing of Jota, horrible from a
And
football
that's another thing.
standpoint.
Look what
That's
these
another
guys
thing.
have to do.
For
You know,
Diaz gone. He's
yeah,
gone too.
there's a lot of big name players that left, and more importantly, Jota was a ginormous player. May rest in peace to him.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a big ass obstacle to try to maneuver with Slot and these veterans that have been with Jota for probably 3 years. A lot of the players, like, mentally, Liverpool was not ready to kick off that season.
I don't think so either, because it literally happened right at the start of the season. Like, I think Jota was actually on his way to training. It's so unfortunate to even talk about.
It was the most unfortunate news ever. I got news when I was in
Horrible.
Calgary when he passed away, and may rest in peace. He was a
Rest in
blast
peace.
to watch, and he was supposed to be a big part coming off the bench at times. He was supposed to be a big key part contributor. He's been a contributor with Liverpool for years, and that's one tough thing that Slot I think has navigated terrifically. Let the guys grieve. We're gonna take a couple losses. Let the
Yeah.
loss be. Next season though. I don't know how long it takes for a passing to grieve and be sad. Obviously, you're sad probably for the rest of your life, obviously, but I don't know how long it takes, like from like physically and mentally. So I'm gonna say this though, but I'm not trying to get in trouble for it. But I think next year, mentally, physically, everybody should be on their A game, and there should be no excuses next season for Liverpool.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how it goes. It's just we're set up for a really big end to the Champions League. Regardless of what happens with Liverpool, I'm excited to see they get a nice trip to Paris.
Beautiful trip to Paris. I'm absolutely pumped up to see how Champions League ends. And
Yeah.
once that ends, it's World Cup time. But let's
Yeah.
move on to what started today. I had to turn off the two games I was just watching, so I have no idea what is going on over there. But March Madness kicked off with an absolute bang. What should we start with? Actually, first we should start with the first four victory of Miami, Ohio advancing. What a game by Miami, Ohio. I was so pumped up to see them win yesterday. I think that's another, flipping the middle finger to Bruce Pearl, because they do belong and they showed that they belong. Yesterday, they shot 40 plus threes. Yesterday, they were just chucking them up. They were playing quality action basketball. Miami, Ohio Redhawks are advancing. As when this episode comes out, it's Friday, so they have a big game tonight.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think I fell in love with this team weeks ago, like we were saying on this podcast. But before we even started doing the show together, I'm in love with the Miami, Ohio Redhawks. And yesterday solidified it. Just top notch quality action basketball from the Redhawks. Just even the coach was saying our game plan is we're gonna chuck up some threes. Hopefully we hit 41 threes. The first four possessions was 3, 3, 3, even though they went like 0-3 in the first three possessions on threes. But I'm so happy they kept on shooting them, because the 3-point was the difference maker, obviously, for Miami. I am so pumped up. I bought in. I changed my whole entire bracket. Not the official Daniel Federico show bracket, but my bracket with my other friends. Changed it all for them to beat Tennessee tonight.
Yeah. Wonderful victory for them to get in and finally shut up the haters. It's their first tournament win since Wally Zerbiak did it with them in '99. They went to the Sweet 16 in 1999, the Miami, Ohio Redhawks. So, and they set records: 41 threes, made 16 of them. That's a lot of threes, like you were saying.
That's a lot of threes.
And 4 Miami players scored double-digit points. So when you're getting that kind of output from 4 different guys on your team, number one, it's probably hard to stop their momentum in general, but it's you're bound to win. And they down SMU by 10 points, a really convincing victory to officially enter the NCAA tournament. They're going dancing.
And the craziest thing is, I know we had, I don't know, did we talk about it last episode that didn't air, that we had technical difficulties with, about Miami, Ohio? If not, but I honestly think that when I was more looking into it, I might have said that the committee made the right call on letting them into the first four. I don't know. I think that as I was looking into it more and just what's going on with everything, I am so glad they won that, because then I started thinking maybe they didn't actually belong in the first four. I think they belonged right into the first round. And I'm so glad they won that game, because I think they're going to show the world tonight against Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of the more watched games tonight. I really wish it was the night we were recording it,
I know. Now we have the weekend off, and then Sunday's episode is going to be wild. wild.
It is going to be wild. We're going to have so much to recap, but
I'm so pumped up. It would have been way better because, like, sometimes we talk about just breaking news, and it's like, oh my God, do we really care about breaking news right now? Maction, Monday, we want it now.
yeah, we want it now. So congrats to Miami. It's going to be a real test to see if they can do it against Tennessee. I think they have it in them for sure. I'm just so excited to watch.
I'm super pumped up. I'm falling in love with them. I don't have a favorite college basketball team,
Yeah.
unless you want to pick like the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, but like that's my football team. Like I just like watching college basketball. But man, oh my God, VCU is coming back. I have them. I have them in my. I have a bet on them right now. I just saw a tweet. If VCU is back from the dead, let's see how back from the dead are they. Oh my God, it's 72-68 now. Come on, with 3 minutes remaining. Come on, VCU. We'll find out. You guys will find out Sunday if the bet hit or not. Actually, no, you guys will find out literally Friday morning, tomorrow morning. But no, I'm super pumped up, and I don't have a favorite college basketball team. If Miami, Ohio wins against Tennessee, I'm clearing them my favorite college basketball team. Maybe I'm hopping on the bandwagon. Could we say that's a bandwagon hopping? For sure is, but I'm hopping on the Miami, Ohio. I just love the way they play. Just chuck
They
it up
play
threes. It's like
chuck
they
threes.
play like fundamentally sound basketball. Just straight action basketball. Maybe I'll be a free agent for a little longer, but my God, is it ever fun? Oh my God, it's a 4-point game with 2:27. Woo! But let's move on. Miami, Ohio. Congratulations, you guys are finally in the dance. Can't wait to see what they do tonight. That's gonna be awesome. Let's talk about the first game of the tournament that tipped off. TCU going up against Ohio State. Went down right to the wire. TCU beating Ohio. Beating Ohio State. David Punch. Fantastic second half. Brock Harding.
He was so good.
Grit.
So good.
Grit. Gets an elbow right to the nose. Comes up with around, I think it was the last possession or their last possession to take the lead. He comes in off the bench, clearing up his broken nose, his blood all over the place. Dishes the ball down low, goes up. 4 seconds remaining. TCU in the lead. What a play. And then Ohio State. Inbound was, can we say that was a terrible effort?
They started to come back in the second.
No, but I'm saying the final, like the inbound from the final second.
Bad. Very bad. Very bad. Like, you know me, Daniel. I have blue blood running through my veins, so I don't mind a little bit of shitting on Ohio State, but that's just me. No, I'm just joking. I won't be that way because we
Be that way.
Be that way. I hate Ohio State. No, I can't be that way. I gotta be fair. But what I will say,
we gotta be bias here. But I gotta say that they called a timeout.
Yeah.
With 4 seconds remaining. That was the whole play they drew up. Like, come on, just to dribble it in, run it up court, and just huck it deep. Like, obviously, what else are they supposed to do? But, like, I don't know. Like, instead of finding an open space, or I was just 1,000 things crossing my mind. Like, instead of like, I don't know. I don't know what else they could have done. Maybe do I have my whiteboard around? I would have drawn up a perfect play. Wait a second. I would draw up a perfect play if I had my whiteboard. I don't have my whiteboard, but we have paper here. So I'm a football coach. No one chirp me. But this is the play I would have ran for. All right, let me draw it up. This is the play I would have ran with the inbound for Ohio State. Let me get some more room. Let me put my iPad on the ground. So this is what it was. So let me draw it up, and I'll show the camera. All right. So this is gonna be such a bad drawing. No one bully me. X's are gonna be TCU. Is that fair?
Yeah.
All right. So
Do not bully the man. He does not deserve it in the least, and it is very hard to draw basketball plays.
It's very hard, but trust me on this. Maybe I'm better at just saying it.
Break it down.
Yeah,
Say it.
yeah. I'm gonna draw it, but if it comes out terribly, I'm gonna try and break it down.
Yeah.
And on what I would have done. So honestly, I can't even draw right now, man. I don't know. I'm gonna break it down. I can't even draw. Like I literally don't. I don't even know. I need one of those clipboards that have like already the chord on it.
Yeah.
But like what I would have done was, so who was the player running that got the ball and hucked it up? I forget his name. But with him, I would have him. So the guy inbounding the ball would have been told just keep on doing his job. But there was another guy in there, and then there was one running wild that essentially caught the ball and hucked it deep. You know what I'm talking about? Like I'm just trying to paint a picture here. What I would have done was the next three people. There was two people in the back then. Next two people in the back. I'm having all maybe three guys come in.
Okay.
So it'd be the inbound, and then three Ohio State players close to that inbound and one deep. We're having three guys run crazy down low. One of them have to get open, right?
Yeah.
But what I was doing, if you have one target guy that has to huck it up, chuck it up deep. The two guys that I showed, two out of the three people I have, so two people are being distracted people, trying to set like fake screens, like trying to get in front of TCU players. And then that one player will be wide open, chuck it up to him so he can at least huck it up. Instead of just inbounding it and having him run all the way to the half-court line and then hucking it up, you got to at least try to create some space with him. And if your inbounder doesn't have a good arm, he should not be your inbounder with 4 seconds remaining in the game. But I think you do. I think you do have to like try to set some fake screens, like just try to get that player wide open so he can take a better, closer, maybe even just a cleaner shot.
Yeah.
For the game winner. I just didn't really like the idea of catch, dribble it up, wasted so much seconds, and then it was just you have to pray. Obviously, you'd still have to pray when you're hucking up a three, but you could have got closer if you just drew it up a little bit better in my eyes.
Yeah, it felt very rushed. So
especially with that whole timeout.
Yeah, it felt
what were you drawing up there, coach?
I don't know. I'd be using decoys and whatnot, like you're saying.
Yeah, that's a good word. I'd be using like decoys, trying to set some screens on the TCU defenders and stuff like that, and them running around and stuff, going crazy, and then trying to find the wide open whoever the player was targeted to, whoever caught the ball and already shot him. Yes, to be the same player, just targeted somebody, and then at least have a closer shot. Like instead of getting the half court line, they could have probably got closer, probably 10 feet closer, and they could have probably got a cleaner shot off instead of on the run chalk.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I feel as though the play should have been drawn up a bit better, but I'm happy that it wasn't because I don't want.
Yeah, I'm pumped. TCU, I betted on them too today.
Yeah, TCU. I like TCU though. Like I even like the way they play basketball. Like Punch, such a good player. Edmonds. Who was the point guard again? I forget his last name. Harding.
Oh yeah, Brock Harding.
Brock Harding. Yeah, Brock Harding. He was a really fun player to watch. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy. We can't really consider that an upset, I guess, because it's a 9 seed beating an 8 seed, so it's a fairly equal result. But still, TCU is now going to play Duke because of Duke winning their game, which nearly was disastrous.
2-point game with 33 seconds remaining in the VCU North Carolina game. But yeah, let's go to a game. So Nebraska destroys Troy 76-47. Thanks for coming out, Troy. Do we really have to talk about that? No, right? We're low on time, so let's not talk about that. There's really no point to talk about Nebraska destroying Troy. But instead of just saying this, thank you for coming out, Troy University. I hope your March Madness was fun for a day. High Point. Upset in Wisconsin, a crazy ending. I have found my new favorite player in college basketball. He was having a crazy year all year. You probably have heard, people at home for sure have heard his name before, just because how good of a 3-point shooter he was in all of Division I college basketball this year. Chase Johnston. He wears the number 99 aura. High Point was 0-57 against power conference teams in school history entering today. They upset Wisconsin for their first ever March Madness win. And did they ever do it? Did they ever do it in fashion?
Dude, I don't like High Point.
You don't like High Point at all?
No, they broke my bracket, bro.
Oh, yeah. My bracket was
Wisconsin going to
broken
the
too.
Final Four, I think. And then you got High Point coming in. And you want to hear something crazy? This kid, this Chase Johnson guy, he didn't make his first 2-point shot today. Like, what is that? Like, that stat isn't real. That's like my favorite stat ever. You want to hear my favorite sports stat ever? Like ever, Daniel. Jim Harbaugh had more rushing yards in the NFL than Bo Jackson.
I've seen that stat.
No, what is this? He makes his first 2-pointer today, and I'm not a Wisconsin fan, but come on.
I know he makes his first mid-ranger because he's just a sharpshooter outside from beyond the arc.
He was shooting off the dribble. He's like falling one way and shooting the other. He was amazing. He was amazing. Wisconsin, what the hell?
Yeah.
What, like, seriously? Like, what the hell? Like, that's all I'm gonna say. What the hell? What the hell?
Oh, VCU tied it up with 5 seconds left in the game.
Oh my God!
Oh,
this is an electric.
Yo, man, maybe
Electric moment.
It might be too late for me to turn on my TV. Oh no, I don't know if I have the turn. I don't think I have it on. Oh, did I turn my?
VCU just tied North Carolina live on Daniel Federico.
Oh no. Oh no, I don't think I'm gonna have it in time. Please tell me there's a timeout. Can I get there? Oh no. Oh no, bro.
He's not gonna get it, is he?
I don't think I'm gonna have it. What is this? Oh my God, I got it. Oh my God, I got it. Live reaction. 8.1 seconds left on the clock. 75-75. North Carolina, VCU. I need VCU, not just for my bracket, for a nice little betting slip. Okay, wait, as we're in there a timeout, we could talk about. Can you hear the audio in the background? Or should I turn it on?
I can't hear the audio now.
Okay, sounds good. But yeah, we're talking about High Point Chase Johnston. Number 99 though, weird for a basketball player, but you're gonna see a lot of weird numbers from these mid-major programs. I think I'm becoming a big fan of them. And shooting what, 4 for 6 from the 3? Sharpshooter. And his logo 3, forgot about it for a second. Just popped in my head.
So gross.
Woo! Just chugging it up. This is March.
He didn't hesitate at all. Like, he just pulled up from the logo and then just, against Wisconsin, low key 12 seed against a 5th seed, just chucking a logo 3. So yeah, great play. 4-3, 14 points. That's what his stat.
In 22 minutes. But here we go. North Carolina inbounding the ball. All right, they're starting to generate a play. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Little slip of the ball. It comes out. VCU ball. VCU ball. He slipped it up. Turnover from North Carolina. 2.4 seconds left. VCU Rams with the ball. They call a timeout. Oh, the 11th seed against the North Carolina. Oh, my. He slipped it up. Who did it actually touch on him? Touched on his face and his hand. VCU ball. Oh, my goodness.
That was electric.
Woo.
Electric.
Let's go back to High Point again. I know we're going to keep on going from High Point to UNC and VCU. What a ending we have on our hands. TSN just cut the curling. Yo, TSN just cut the curling.
That is so cruel of TSN. Yeah, this is nuts. TSN would just do that.
TSN just cut the curling. I don't even know if I got the right game on right now because it doesn't tell me on the app on what game's being played. But on the app, it's telling me it's going to overtime. Oh my gosh. We're going to have to stay on and watch the rest of this game if I can find the... Yo. But, people are going to be entertained by this for sure. How could you not? Twitter's going crazy right now. VCU has the ball with 2.9 seconds left. North Carolina, Tar Heels were up 19 now. It's tied 75-75 and VCU has the ball. Okay, but we got to go back to regular scheduled programming here. All right? High Point, Chase Johnson, his logo 3, ginormous logo 3. This is what March is all about. My reaction right now to this VCU game, even though TSN, turn it off. Oh, and they brought it right back from, I changed it, and they brought it out of commercial, and I missed watching the final shot. And now we're going to overtime, and it was intercepted. The Tar Heels had a chance to win it on a wide open 3 at a buzz beater. They missed it. VCU, what was that? Oh my goodness, we're going to overtime. Wow. Just okay. We have a lot of time. I think we can end this episode, but let's end it off professionally and great, right? All right. Chase Johnson. I've been saying his name so much. This is what happens when I turn the TV on, eh? This is literally what happens. This is March. This is what March is all about. Chase Johnson, though, terrific game. Terrific game by TCU all around. But I'm going to butcher this name. Owen Equino? Equano? You know what I'm talking about? He had a ginormous block to seal the deal at the end of the game.
Okay. Hold on one second. I don't know who we're talking about because
you have your note here. It goes sick block by Owen Equinanu. And I know exactly who that is. I just can't say his name. That's the guy that blocked. Ukinu, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Owen Iku. Jesus. My day's all
Owen Aquino blocks it. Yeah, he blocks it.
Yeah. Crazy block. That block right there sealed it.
Yeah.
But then they got fouled and they had a chance to just put this game to bed and they missed their free throw. I was like, oh my gosh. But
it was unbelievable result today. His block was tremendous.
Yeah. It was a tremendous block, ginormous. And I think that's going to be shadowed by their win. But his effort right there in that paint, get that garbage out of there. What a win.
Yeah, those last second desperation defensive plays, that's what I love most about March. I do. Just as much as I love mid-major point guards coming out from these schools you've never heard of and just ruining your bracket.
Brock Harden's actually not. It's TCU, not High Point. My fault. But yeah, like players like Chase Johnson. Who is the point guard for High Point today? Was it what's his name? I forget. I'm pretty sure he had like 15 points today too.
It wasn't Martin, I don't think.
No, I don't think it was Martin. I think it was someone else. Why can't I not find this game, bro? Like how many games there is? They gotta make this look.
Yeah, if you guys open like ESPN or any like sports app right now and you look at the schedule for
it's the worst thing I've ever seen.
So congested.
There it is. Oh, never mind. It was Cameron Fletcher. He's not the point guard, but him. Tremendous game by him. It was Scotty Washington. Okay. No, it was not Scotty Washington. Rob Martin.
Yeah,
that's what it is. 23 points. So many names have been thrown around. You're actually the amount of knowledge people are going to get, and myself is getting from this weekend or this week from this tournament each year and year in and year out is just brand new names, brand new players, never heard of, like High Point's point guard. Why would I ever search up High Point University? I'm Canadian. I'm Canadian too. And when have they ever came up on my TV or my following? Never. Yeah. But let's move on to another game because overtime is going crazy. Duke. A little bit of a slip up today, but they survived. They almost lost to Siena, but they survived. I think the Boozer brothers, Cameron Boozer and Caden, right?
Yeah.
They performed today. I like to see Kay, though. I really like he's turning the corner as a basketball player, especially playing in his brother's shadow. Is that bad to say? It's the truth. He's playing in his brother's shadow.
I mean, his brother's probably going to go number one, and he's been talked about as the best basketball player. And
So yeah, so I'm right. I can say that. I can say that he's in his brother's shadow. Um, yeah, like he changed him and Cameron really changed this game today
yeah,
in the second half, because that first half, it was not the Duke team we saw day in and day out.
well, they were down
They
43-2 at half.
they were down, what, 16 points at half?
And I texted you, I'm like, it would be
Yeah,
insane if they go like in the 20s, if they get down like that many points at
yeah.
half. And
But at least Duke rallied in the second half to survive a scare,
yeah.
an upset. That would have been terrifying. The 16th seed could have sent them home. But Siena, terrific game. That's the type of games in March that you have to play get in. The 16th seeds.
Yeah, and who was the point guard for Siena? Gavin Doty. He was
Gavin Doty played a terrific game today. And that I bet that's not going to be the last time we hear of him. Hopefully not. But I want to say, when these smaller schools, mid-major schools, come into March and you get to learn about all new universities, where they are, what their gyms look like, their roster, names like this that play a terrific, Doty played a terrific game today. And a loss that's going to be shadowed by Duke, because you played against Duke. But there's a lot of people in this world are going to be like, that kid just proved himself. That kid just played a tremendous game. Actually, I don't even know how old is he is. He could be a 7th-year senior, all I know.
He's 19 because I looked at his player.
Okay, he is 19. Okay, bet. Okay, yeah, he's still young. He's a freshman, sophomore at least.
Shout out Brendan Croyle, the other guy too. He went 4 for 7 and for from three today. He was just jacking threes, like really hard shots. Not much space between him.
And he hit this one with a palm right in his face.
Right in his face. They were good. The Saints were so good, and they didn't they were just so exhausted. Like, because McNamara, the coach,
and that's what happened. Like, did you see? Like, they didn't care about their coach.
He didn't sub anyone off.
Exactly. And at that time, this time it came to fatigue. They were tired at the end of the game. No subs, or there would be like 20-second subs. You're going right back in. That's the inexperience of not trusting your bench. And you know what happened? He relied on a lot of players to get to March this year. In this game, he did not. He only relied on 7 players today. Five mainly, because obviously the starting 5. But I want to say the 2 guys he was rotating in and out were 2 guys.
I also think it's just because Duke can sub because they know their depth is like their depth.
Yeah, and he didn't trust his depth, but
they're equivalent to the starters for Siena.
Exactly.
They are. Siena doesn't have anybody off the bench that could compete with Duke's bench players. So I think
100%. I totally get what you're saying, but I think as a coach, as a coach, you got to trust the people that got you there. Yes, your starting 5 got you to March, but when you're playing against a team like Duke, the nation's best, the country's best, and I'm all for you just trusting 5 to 7 guys, but you want fresh legs on the court at all time going up against Duke. It's Duke University. It's Duke we're talking about. We're not talking about your conference play where you can just go with 5 straight guys and they can play all 40 minutes because they're probably going to be jogging most of the time. No, but every single play against Duke is a hustle play. You have to give it your 100% each play, each second, each dribble, each defensive stand against Duke. And when you're tired, you can't do that. You can't play your best when you're tired. So the fatigue really brought in that part. And I honestly think, though, if he trusted his bench a lot more than he did today, you could probably see a different result from Siena.
Maybe. I just think probably a little bit, just given the fact that a lot of players would have been rested a bit more,
and fresh legs. That's the moral of the story I'm trying to get at. That's the moral of the story I'm trying to get at. Young legs, fresh legs can really do a long part, especially for Duke and going up against Duke. Duke, you're not going to beat Duke just off skill. You have to they almost came close beating them off of just game plan, and his game plan did almost work. So it's not like come here and be like every single move he made was terrible today. Shana's head coach. No, the move he made against Duke, his game plan worked. Damn near worked. But I think if he had some more fresh legs on the court and the heat of the moments, like the last 3 to 4 minutes, we could see a different ending here. And I think Duke got lucky. But at the same time, though, if you're a player and you're in the starting rotation, you have to condition yourself from training camp to
Yeah.
play 40 minutes a night. And they didn't have that going today. But at the same time, though, I truly will die on a hill like this. I'll die saying this. Fresh legs, if we saw a lot more fresh legs and less fatigue, and VCU is up 2 with 2 minutes remaining, and I think I'm going to do this I think I'm going to watch this entire game off this foul. They're going to the foul line, UNC. But like I'm saying is, fresh legs should have been a totally different thing and stuff like that. But you got to give it to him. Got to give it to Sienna's the whole program. His coaching philosophy is it worked. It worked today. It just didn't work in the win column. But against Duke, take your moral victories for your small program.
I think they also just built up such a big lead too that they exerted so much energy trying to tack the points on going on towards the end of the first
And
half.
I'm okay with that. At least I'm okay with that. But when they had
Those
such a
same
massive
guys
lead,
are coming right back on to start the second, and they're already like they're
yeah.
exhausted. And Duke has the depth in order to.
But we can't sit here and be
Don't
like
have
he didn't have the opportunities to rest them when they were
No,
up
I mean
10, when they were
no.
up 13, and they also did. I get at half, same guys on. It's halftime. They had 12 minutes or so to rest up, but before that, and they had moments in that second half where they could have rested for a minute or two, but it seemed like it was 30-minute shifts. 30-second shifts? Sorry, not 30 minutes. 30-second shifts, just like that. It's
Yeah,
that's where the fatigue comes out of.
yeah, it was a lot. I also just think like you're like with a team like this, like 16 seeds, these various mid-major schools, you're not going to beat a school like Duke outright. Duke needs to slip up, and then you need to take advantage of those slip ups, capitalize enough so that they can't come back from it. And in a way, that's what Siena failed to do today. And they were so close, so close.
100% agree. 100% agree.
We're so close, and it would have absolutely, well, it would have transformed the landscape of the tournament.
Yeah,
Because the
no, 100%.
outright number one seed in most people's eyes would have been gone, and it would have been on account of various mistakes that they made, and it would have been such a bad look for John Shire. Did you see John Shire in the post game interview?
Yeah, I did see that. He's a little bit of thank God we didn't lose that. But he's mad. He's upset.
Duke. The other thing with him too is like Shire is still in the shadow of Coach K.
Yeah.
You can't afford to lose to a 16 seed in the opening round of the tournament if you're still living in the most legendary college basketball coach of the last.
The greatest coach, probably greatest college basketball coach of all time.
Well, him and John Wooden.
Well, yeah, but you could also go with, yeah, that's true. I agree with you that. I was thinking more, he also has gold medals and stuff to his name, a lot of them.
He does, and you're gonna be living in a guy like that. Like what? It's one of the most unenviable jobs ever to succeed Coach K.
And it's like, I like what Santa did today. I think this is gonna make Duke, like we were talking before we recorded, that this is gonna make Duke a lot better team. And you were saying before we recorded that you're gonna have to go through these hiccups, and especially early on in the tournament. It's like, oh my God, we just almost got knocked out. We got to make sure the next round we play our A game. And I don't know who they're going to play next round. It's either St. John's, the winner of that St. John's game. I'm pretty sure if I'm correct. I don't have the bracket right in front of me. I have 50.3 seconds of.
Who plays TCU next round?
They play TCU next. Oh yes, and then St. John's would be a third round, right? That's St. John's wins next round, this round and next round. I think that's what it is. I'm just trying to think of when I was building out my bracket. But yeah, they play TCU next round. I think they'll win that. I do think Siena really took them off guard today, and I think they now have a day or two of rest. You just know John Schneider is gonna really, really be on them now, because TCU is a lot on paper and squad control. Squad they're a way better team than Siena. But if Siena can do this against Duke, TCU is going to go with that. We could do it too.
I think Duke is going to tighten up, and I think they're going to go on a little run because I
Yeah.
think Shires going to have them. He's going to be like, "Hey, what the mistakes we made against Siena, we can't afford to make against TCU because they're not a world beater, but they're capable of beating really good teams when they slip up." So, I think Duke's going to take care of TCU handily, and then I think somewhere down the line, it's a possibility for Duke to meet St. John's, which would just be absolute cinema.
Yeah.
That is that a white suit game for Rick Pitino?
Has to be.
Has
Has
to be
to
the
be.
white suit.
Has to be. What a
He's
legend. What a
undefeated.
legend he is.
He's undefeated in the white suit, brother.
I'm so locked in on this game right now. 35 seconds left in the game. UNC Trimble is at the line. This is gonna be crazy. He missed! He missed the first shot! Woo-hoo! ECU! The Rams! But yeah, no, I totally agree with you. But don't you agree? You could see it too, my point of view. Like, if Siena did have some fresh legs and it could be a totally different thing. But there's not really any other games that were eye-opening to me because after that game, it was kind of like Hawaii, Arkansas. Vanderbilt was a close game against McNeese too, so that was a good game. He made the second one, 1 point game, 35 seconds. But do you want to talk about that McNeese Vanderbilt game for a second?
It was a little bit closer for comfort to Vanderbilt, especially towards the halftime break. I think Vanderbilt kind of got lucky a little bit. They built a little bit more of a cushion towards the end.
Yeah.
I didn't watch this game completely.
Bang!
Oh,
From 15 seconds left. Come on. So sorry. So sorry. But yeah, McNeese only losing by 10 or Vanderbilt only winning by 10. No, they cushion out. He's driving. Oh my gosh. I can't even speak right now. Imagine I was calling this game, I'd be stumbling my words. But no, like I really liked McNeese how they played today.
yeah.
I know they had a great, I don't want to say they had a good first half against Vanderbilt. But
Yeah.
like we were saying though, or like I was saying last week, Vanderbilt is like a team that I think can give a run for the top rack, heavier seeds. Like any team above them, I think they can give that team can give them a run for their money. But I was pretty shocked at how I saw them play in the first half, or probably the first 10 minutes. I'd say the first 15 minutes of that game. I think I was very shocked at how Vanderbilt played, and I was pretty upset at how they played.
There's just a feeling I think of settling in that most of these big programs experience in the opening round of the NCAA tournament, where they play down to their competition, and I think this was an example of that because Vandy did beat Florida in their conference tournament. They did eliminate last year's national champs, and Florida obviously isn't as good in areas where they were extremely proficient last year.
I backed it off. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
So he missed the first free throw. He tried to bank it off the glass for another one. Missed his mission. 4.2 left on the clock. VCU's ball. It didn't touch the rim, so it's automatically VCU's ball. Oh my gosh. 4.2 left. They're going to have to foul. They're going to have to foul here, UNC. But I'm absolutely pumped to see how this works out. So sorry for crossing you up.
No, you're good.
But here we go. 4.2 left. VCU only up 2. Foul. Okay, they're going to the line, so that's good. But yeah, Vanderbilt though, the second half kind of looked like the team that beat Florida, for sure. Yeah. But still, like I think that's going to be enlarged in my brain for the rest of the tournament. How they played the first 15, let's say first half, because they did start picking up at the last 5 minutes of the half. But that's going to be still enlarged into my brain for the rest of the tournament if they do go far. Is like they played terrible basketball against McNeese. This team has flaws. Obviously, it has flaws. They're not the 1 seed or 2 seed. Every team has flaws, but theirs got figured out a lot faster. But they fixed it, at halftime, and I think that's it. Up 3, up 3, up 3, up 3. This is a big free throw right here. This is going to put the game to bed. And he made it. ECU! ECU! Come on. Hail Mary for a chance. Missed. That's it. VCU, the Rams, they're still dancing. Let's go. Fire me up.
Live
Out
on
goes the
air.
Tar Heels. Let's go. Fire me up.
We
go
just
cash
have
out this
upset
leg.
live on air.
Oh my gosh. We gotta end this pod though. It's been so long. It's almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, fantastic first day.
Absolutely.
March Madness is off to a hot start. VCU, though, live reaction has came down from a 19-point deficit to knock off the 6th seed North Carolina Tar Heels. VCU Rams still dancing. I'm absolutely pumped. Tomorrow is my favorite team, Miami, Ohio, Friday night. So tonight, because this comes out Friday morning, Miami goes up against Tennessee. And I hope they win. But exciting game right there.
Exciting.
Overtime fashion. I'm pumped up. But we got to end this. I think as the week goes, I think we're gonna be a lot less chaotic of an episode, but that's what March does to a person. Gets you fired up. It's like we're calling games again again football, where we get fired up at times, where we lose our train of thought. That's me all episode. I was losing my train of thought. I was just always in the back of my mind is how my bracket's doing and how my parlay is doing. But it's all good because the parlay's still alive, but the bracket's broken. I'm Daniel Federico, and that's Nick Tazio, and this has been the Daniel Federico Show. We'll see you guys again next week or next Monday. Ciao!
Ciao.